it's at, and it keeps growing and getting bigger and more wonderful with every place that it's being shown. And so I'd like to introduce Anne Farley Gaines, who's a few words to say about how this show came into being and what it means to us.
Well, I actually wrote down everything I was going to say, but because Diane had asked me to speak about how the show came into being, I thought, well, it's written in the catalogs how it came into being, but I will tell you now anyway, just from the top of my head, that it started with a conversation that I had with my friend Maureen Warren, one of my two associate curators, when we were at a restaurant in Elmhurst in 2010, after having visited a show of Roberts at the Elmhurst Art Museum. And I said, wouldn't it be wonderful if we had a show of artists interpreting the works of William Shakespeare, the plays and the sonnets and the characters. And she essentially said, I'm in, I think it's a wonderful idea. So we began brainstorming on the back of placemats, and these people oftentimes do it. We came up with a list of artists that were quite varied in style and technique, and that we knew were going to come through with something wonderful for the exhibition once we found a venue. Our first venue was at the Beverly Arts Center last year. It was 39 artists, and it was from approximately February 17th through April 1st. And we were very proud at that time, and it was later on picked up by Concordia University, Chicago. In River Forest, Betty Ann Mochek was the gallery director at that time, and she had chosen specific works for that show that it fit. And we enjoyed Betty Ann so much that we asked her to be part of this exhibit. For the next venue, we're also going to ask Carla Winterbottom to be in the show. She was our wonderful gallery director at Beverly, and does wonderful work, but she has been tending to something that she's had to finish up. And anyway, this is the third venue of Chicago artists interpret Shakespeare as they like it, and I can say unequivocally that I am totally proud and satisfied with the result. Not only is the placement of each work perfect in the context of the entire exhibition, but each work itself is perfection, resulting in a unified whole. Shakespeare would not turn in his grave. He would jump for joy, and he would have all the spirits around him dancing and whirling and shouting. Hopefully, this exhibit will be a student magnet, and the unqualified excellence will result in many questions asked by students curious as to how each artist interpreted the works of William Shakespeare that they chose, and why they were drawn to particular plays. Our goal is for the study of this exhibit to be an enriching educational experience with lasting benefit. An exhibit of this quality does not happen by itself. First, I thank Diane Levesque, the visionary and meticulous and patient gallery director of the H.F. Johnson Gallery, and a fine artist herself, for the hours she put into the planning of the catalogs, the arrangements of the works, and the hanging of the exhibit. I also thank her team of students and co-workers. Diane, you possess all those qualities of personal integrity and trustworthiness that Cordelia has, the daughter of King Lear. It has been truly a pleasure working with you. I also thank my two wonderful assistant curators, Maureen Warren and Robert Kamajura. You brought to the table for attention the work of several new artists to add beyond our first exhibit at the Beverly Arts Center, and these artists' works all add a tremendous presence to the show. Your tireless work on crafting a beautiful and inclusive catalog essay was greatly appreciated. I commend you both. Maureen, you possess the prudence, grace, and intellect of Pauline from A Winter's Tale. I love you dearly, as I do Diane and Robert. It is a pleasure working with you. Robert, your humor is very puckish at times, like the character from Midsummer Night's Dream, who placed the dew from the pansies on the eyes of the dreamers so they can fall in love with the first person or beast they lay eyes upon after they awake. but mostly you remind me of Prospero and the Tempest, working your magic and bravery into this show's becoming a great production. I also thank my husband, Jeffrey Mavelli, my Petruchio-like husband, because like Kate, I am sometimes a shrew that needs to be tamed. Last but not least, I thank all the artists who have worked in this exhibit, some who have traveled a long way this evening, and everyone here who came to see the exhibit. I love all the hard work and excellence you put into it. Onward.